Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's another Mythic Monday, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Four Horsemen show exclusive for 2025, the Legendary Barbarian. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collecting. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Alright, here is a closer look at that package. This is a standard Mythic Legions package. We have the Mythic Legions, the regular logo, not the silver foil one that we saw with the Armory Knight experience figures. You can see we have 3 different sets of hair, an extra head, a lot of equipment in the background. We have just this map of Mythos here on this side, and on this side we do have a write-up, and if you want to pause it and read it, you can, but basically it just says, you know, this is a legendary barbarian who has been, in some stories he has black hair, in some stories he has red hair, in some stories he has blonde hair, in some stories he wears a helmet, and who knows, sometimes he's seen with a female warrior by his side, but we do have that gold, or that silver foil imprint of the Horseman logo right there, and a little write-up right there about barbarians in the world of Mythos. So if you want to pause it and read it, you certainly can, but let's get this guy opened up and see everything he comes with. Okay, you guys know what I like to do here is if there is a secondary tray in a Mythics figure or a Cosmics figure, I always want to show off like what comes in that secondary tray. So we've got some really cool stuff here. We've got this really nice dwarven sword that I love that we're getting again. This nice battle axe we've seen before. Pretty standard shield. We've got some pauldrons here from Poxus, which are some of the best pauldrons, I think. And then we've got some belts and some shield attachments and some horns, which we've seen before. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what comes in the secondary tray. It's a lot of stuff. Okay, taking a closer look at all of his accessories, we do have this pretty standard shield, but I gotta tell you, I really love this design. It's this flat, very matte finish, kind of like a gunmetal, and then this bronzy kind of gold with the rivets and the edge. I really like the way that that looks. And they carried that over to the weapons as well. Now, the gold is not the same, but it's this dark brown, sort of bronzy color. I think this is a really nice pairing. We've seen this battle axe before with the nice filigree work on it, and those rivets are highlighted. I don't know if they're painted or they're just brushed clean with the wash around them. Maybe it makes it look a little lighter, but you can see as the light hits them, man, that just looks really good. It looks like they're individually painted. And then we have this dark brown, sort of bronzy hilt and pommel, which looks really nice. And that same style motif is carried over to this sword, which has a little bit more of that goldy bronze color that is on the shield. It's a little lighter than what's on the battle axe, but I love this dwarven sword. We've gotten this before, but not too many times, and I really dig it. You can see that there's a darker brown handle, and then the pommel and the handguard are a little golder, a little more gold, a little brighter than what's on the handle, and that's really nice. I love this sword, and I'm glad we got another one. Next up, we do have some horns for his helmet, and so those are really nice. I kind of wish these were in that sort of like gold bronze color that's on the sword, the handguard. I think that would look really nice if these were a little bit more gold. That's just my own personal color preference. We do get 2 shield clips, whether you want to go with the handle or the wrist clip. We have those. I'm glad they give us options. We do get this extra belt that goes around his chest for some weapon storage, although he does have, you know, some belts around his chest already. We do get 3 of these chains. You know, we have a larger one which could go around his ankle, I'm assuming, and then 2 smaller ones that go around the wrist, and we've seen these before. and they look really great. But I'm glad they have real metal chains, and they're appropriately rusty and tarnished, and they look great. So I'm really glad to get these. Does this come apart at all? No, but I'm assuming you just pop the foot off and then slide this up on the ankle. I'm assuming that's what this is for, because these are small enough for the wrist, but we do get those three. And then we also get the shoulder pauldrons, which we've seen before with Poxus, which I love these. It's a very beat up metal. It's chipped, it's scarred, it's weathered. It's got little bits of chainmail hanging out underneath. These pauldrons have seen better days. You can see one's in better condition than the other, kind of, sort of. But yeah, they just look great. It's yeah, these are some of my favorite pauldrons, and I'm glad I've already got a second pair now with Poxus. And then for the hands, he does come with two weapon holding hands with horizontal hinges on him in the package. We get almost an entire hands pack here. We get two weapon holding hands with vertical hinges. We get two gesturing splayed out hands on horizontal hinges. Always great for posing when you have some sort of barbarian or sword or axe wielding character. We have two tighter gesturing grip hands with horizontal hinges. You can see the difference here about how curled in the fingers are or how splayed out they are. So that's really nice. And then of course you can't have a barbarian without punching fists. So we've got the punchies here. And so, yeah, that's really nice. And then we have the star of the show, this barbarian head that has three different hair attachments. And so I'm trying to remember if we've gotten a male head with hair attachments before. I know we've gotten female heads where the hair comes off on and off. We've gotten that several times. Most recently in the new Ghost of Christmas Past. But I don't know if we've got them with males before. But we do have these three different hairstyles here. This one is more of a reddish brown. On my camera, it's coming across as like really brown, but in hand, it's more of a reddish brown. You can definitely see the red in there. And you just make sure that you're lined up and you have it keyed in properly. And you can see just how nice and seamlessly it lays on top of that head and plugs in, and it doesn't look like a separate piece at all. It's very, very nice. Now you're going to see the same exact hair sculpt 3 times in 3 different colorways. So if you wanted to go with one that's definitely more Conan inspired, you certainly could, and that looks great. This is probably how he's going to go on my shelf. Because I would very much like a Mythic Legions Conan figure. And then we have one that is more blonde, which is, definitely that He-Man style of, that color of the Protector of Eternia. So I really dig that. That looks nice too. That's a nice golden color. But yeah, honestly, I really do think I'm going to go Conan on my shelf. So yeah, that head looks adequately Sumerian. Yeah, it looks great. All right, here we have the Barbarian standing straight up and down out of the package. No extra accessories put on him or anything, just as he comes. And man, I am so happy for Anubis and Bastet, that set that came out, because when they give us like the fully nude, like basically fully nude male body, I knew that we were going to be seeing that a lot in the future, and I think that's a sculpt that benefits this guy, so that we can have like the fully nude arms and mostly nude legs. But this is just a mishmash of parts that we've seen before. But that's what makes Mythic Legions so awesome, is that they start putting things together in ways that we didn't think of, or maybe we did, or maybe people had already done pop and swaps like this, but they kind of plus it up a little bit and put that 4-H spin on it. So I'm really digging this guy. I think all the parts usage here is pretty spot on. I mean, that belt we've seen a million times, right? Like that goes way back. But we also have new parts that we are that are fairly new, that we've just gotten very recently. So I'm digging the mix of parts usage here to give us something new and unique. So let's get this guy off of the rotating base and punch in on some of those really awesome details and take this guy apart and see what he is. All right, taking a closer look here at this body and what we get here. Now, this is the standard barbarian head that we've seen forever, and I really want to pop these horns on. Which these horns are typically accessories for the side of the helmet, but putting them on here in the front is really cool, and I think that just looks fantastic. Boy, that looks great. I would have loved to see a little bit of the gold bronze color like brought into his body in some ways. So either the horns be that color, or maybe the line work on the helmet, or some parts of the belt, loincloth, armor. I think that would have been really cool to bring in that gold color just a little bit. But we do have a little bit of the gold on the bangles on his beard. And if we move this to the side, you can see he does have one of those newer style chest belts that goes around his chest. And let's we can even put the other one on him here in a little bit when I pop this head off. Here's that belt that we've seen 100 times, but it does look nice on him, especially with the little bits of chainmail hanging out of the side, because that's very reminiscent of the pauldrons that we've seen with Poxus. We have the plate armor, and then we have little bits of chainmail hanging out, so I really dig that. And I love that there's a very subtle brown paint on the fur around the waist. So yeah, very, very nice. And then one other thing I want to talk about when talking about the loincloth piece here is this new piece of fabric. So looks like the crotch piece they're using is sort of like a burgundy color, but we have like this really nice soft goods piece here that's looks like wool. It's woven, looks really good, and then it kind of goes around the sides here, and on this side here you can see that there's even a wire. Like this little piece right here is wired, and you can bend it. Hopefully you can see that. Same on this side, a little bit of wire in there, and then it's torn and tattered, which looks really nice. And then as you go around the back, you can see it hangs down lower in the back, and then there is a central wire coming right down the middle, and you can have it like it's blowing in the wind. But that just looks so nice, and for it to be wired, and it's got some weathering and some paint and some holes in it, it just looks, man, that's fantastic. And then is this the loincloth piece from the Valiant Knight, or am I incorrect there? Then we have like the fully nude new legs, thighs, and lower calf piece, and then the boots from Jacob Marley, which I know they're going to get tons of use of out of in the future. Now, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but are these bangles brand new? The bracelets, I don't remember seeing them before on any figure, because they are a separate piece. You can remove them and not use them at all, or if you want to put like the chains on, that's how you do it. So you would want to probably remove those bracelets. But somebody correct me in the comments down below if we've seen these bracelets before, but they don't look familiar to me. But I do want to pop this head off, and while we're here, go ahead and pop this extra belt on and see how it lays with this guy, because we already have one here, and let's just see if it's long enough to sit next to it. Let's see here if you can get it over the other guy. I think that'll help hold it down. So we're going to do that. Yeah, I kind of dig that, because the other belt gets kind of covered up. But I do like that. It lays very nicely, and it stays appropriately underneath the other one. But let's go ahead and pop this additional head on. Yeah, buddy. And if that ain't Conan, man, I don't know. I don't know what is, if that is not the Cimmerian himself. And boy, I really want to pop these pauldrons on and see what we get going here. I'm actually going to put it in between the belts, and see how that looks. This figure may look really good with just one pauldron. He may not need both. But I do want to pop them on and see what that looks like. And then we'll see whether or not we want to go with one or both. I honestly think I just want to go one pauldron with this. And if we're going to make him right-handed and give him his shield in his left, then he probably needs the pommel, or needs the pauldron on this side. So why don't we do that? Why don't we take this off and just go with asymmetrical design here and give him one pauldron. And I think that looks pretty tough. That looks great. So let's go ahead and try the other hair pieces on just while we have the head on the body, and see what this looks like. And there we go. So there's He-Man, if you want to go He-Man. I'm a huge Masters of the Universe fan, so I'm probably going to have to get a second one of these and make a He-Man tribute, since I don't have Adam on. And then there is the red hair, which I also like. It looks really good, but until I pick up a second one, which I probably will at Toylanta in a couple of weeks, yeah, then we're just going to go with Conan on the shelf, because that just looks so incredible. Gosh, that looks great. So yeah, let's get him standing straight up and down, and bring in our good buddy Bill Bones Broken Shield, as we like to do for a size comparison. And then let's go ahead and bring in, let's see, Sir Elijah from Necro. You can see how he stacks up next to these guys. So if you need a barbarian to like start taking out some of your knights, here's a Valiant Knight body with the Kai Labs tunic on, which I may put this on this guy and see how that looks. That would be great. But you can see how he stacks up. So let's get these guys out of the way. Let's get him into some backgrounds and into some lighting. See how he poses up. Seriously, I gotta tell you guys, like, this is pretty incredible. This is not just a simple pop and swap to be sold at shows like as a cash grab. This is one amazing figure, and just for me, because I love barbarians. I love Conan and He-Man and characters like that. The kind of like have sword, will travel, and punch monsters kind of character. I gotta tell you, this may be one of my favorite releases this year. Like, I wonder how this guy is going to stack up against other Mythic releases by the end of the year. But I gotta tell you, this Conan head is incredible. The swappable hair pieces are super nice, and I absolutely love everything that they packed into this character. I think if you were to take the Waltor, the Mad, the skeleton pack that we got, and put like that wool cloak on him for a winter look, that would look nice. You get a nice bright red or burgundy or deep red wired cape off of eBay and put that on this guy. It's going to look fantastic. Like, there's just so many options here. And like I said, I need at least one more, because I want to do a He-Man tribute since I don't have Adam on. But I got to have this Conan on my shelf. So yeah, let me know. Are you guys going to make it out to any shows this year? Are you going to pick this guy up? And don't worry, if you can't make it out to shows, Jeremy has already said from Four Horsemen that there will be, they have set aside a fair amount of these guys for an online sale later in the year, but he said it will happen towards the end of the year. I would imagine probably after Allegiance Con, because that'll probably be the last show that the Horsemen attend for 2025, and then they'll put up some of these online. So don't worry if you can't make it out to a show. You will be able to get your hands on one. You just have to play the long game, and please do not pay the eBay prices for this guy. I mean, he's worth every penny of the $50 he's going to cost at shows, but don't get gouged by people trying to take advantage of you. Play the long game, or if you have a friend going, hit them up and have them get you one of these at a reasonable price. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out on Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector, Mark, and I'll see you in the toy aisles.